As is usual in these mine explosions, the mouth of the pit was surrounded by women and children, the families of the entombed miners, hoping that their kin would be brought out alive, or at least brought out whole if they were dead. The rescue teams were there, the mine inspectors and mine officials. The police were there, of course, to keep the crowds back. Floodlights played on the scene, and the ambulances were lined up for a quarter of a mile. The state, the mine owners, and the public were ready to do everything possible for these dead miners. They must have Christian burial. Of course, there will be an investigation. There have been 1,000 of these investigations. But every miner knows that there is no need for an investigation to determine why this disaster occurred. They know why these 111 human beings are dead. They know why thousands of miners have died in the past in mine explosions. They know that these explosions are not acts of God, like hurricanes, cyclones, and death from lightning. The federal and state governments know this too. The coal operators know it. They all know the reason, and they know that no investigation is necessary. They know, and the miners know, that nothing much will come from this investigation. The federal government, the state governments, the coal operators, and the miners know that these accidents can be reduced to minimum. They can be reduced to minimum if the coal companies will take some of their profits and install safety devices, if the state mine regulations are enforced, if federal mine safety recommendations are followed, if mine inspectors cease to be political appointees, and if bribery of mine inspectors is eliminated. David Coolidge, as a journalist and activist for the working class and labor movements, is socially concerned about the treatment that companies have towards the working class after the 1947 Centralia mine disaster. Post-World War II events brought in soldiers who were in desperate need for jobs. However, following the end of the war, the working class began going on strike, demanding for safer work environments for many jobs, one of those being cave mining. These strikes were further fueled by the 1947 Centralia mine disaster, where 111 miners were killed, due to the neglect and lack of management that was on the cave. This quote aims to speak directly to the families that were impacted by the deaths of the miners, while simultaneously placing blame towards the company in charge of the mining location, towards their ignorance. Thus, David Coolidge, through his article, blaming ignorance and lack of safety regulations for the mine disaster, was able to push and support the working class strike, potentially contributing to some safety improvements for work environments.